So we're going to try to record this little video on disorders of brain function so that I can see if you can actually interact with me and see me as I lecture to you. I think that it's important when you're looking at the disorders of brain function to first understand what the brain's functions are, what are the different lobes, what are they responsible for. I promise you that you will, all the way along the way in NCLEX, need to understand the damage to different lobes and the consequence that's going to have. So just real quick in very brief, the frontal lobe, you need to understand, is very important for cognition. It's our executive function. It helps us think, make decisions, reasoning. It's also a part of our expressive language, meaning what we want to express to other people and tell them. It also has some function in our control of voluntary movement. The parietal lobe, this is where this is kind of like the middle part. This is where we process information. We often think of this as like our senses, things that we taste, smell, touch, tactile stimulation, so they touching something. That all is stimulated in that parietal lobe, so that's where we process our information of our senses. The temporal lobe, this is mostly looking at memories or being able to form memories. A lot of times we associate memories with seeing something or smelling something. Oh God, I remember when I was little and we'd go to my aunt's for whatever, this and that, Thanksgiving, and they always had such and such. Those memories that we make and associate senses with them come from the temporal lobe. So it's how we interpret what we hear, what we see, memories that we make, but it's also important for our speech perception, also called receptive communication. So how I perceive or I receive, and I am receptive to understanding what you say. So you may say something to me if I had damage to my temporal lobe, like close the door. And I don't understand what you're saying. You may say, squeeze my hand, and I smile at you or I wave at you because what you're saying is not processed. I'm not understanding that. The last one is occipital, and the occipital lobe is mostly responsible for the eyes and vision issues. It's how we recognize what we see. Like I look at a TV, I know it's a TV. Objects, how we see colors, how we recognize words. So when people have strokes or they have injury to the brain, we have to evaluate all of these different things. And sometimes it is just giving them a flashcard with the word house or car, and they have to interpret if that's a word that they should know, and they can't read that, they don't know what that is. That's how we know that's maybe an occipital lobe damage that's going on. So it's important, I think, to understand a little bit about the lobes and before you even get started understanding what's going on here.